We're at a momentous time at Emory and in some ways in the world. My wife Lalita and I were delighted to come back to the Emory family, inspired by what's happening at Emory under President Fenway's leadership. It is a truly, truly remarkable place. If you think about our research, this is the place that Max Cooper discovered the B cell, one of the foundational cells of our immune system that we didn't know existed before he did. This is the place where Professor Huang, who solved a mathematical puzzle 30 years in the making and solved it so elegantly that somebody called it poetry, the proof that he came up with. This is the home, as President Fenway said, for the transatlantic slave database that informs scholarly research into an important, tough chapter of our history. And it is the place that 90% or more of COVID tests are validated in Professor Wilbur Lamb's lab before they go out into the market. And as we know from the papers, the place of COVID medicine. Such research doesn't just happen. It takes a certain doggedness, perseverance, creativity, just insistence on not accepting failure. So a group of us, led by our amazing deans, Dean Elliott, Dean Hicks, Enku Gelai from Student Services, Student Affairs, and others, and myself have been asking the question, what would the world look like if we brought the same focus, the same intensity to ask a different question? And the question is, how do we create the most amazing student experience for our undergraduate students? What would the world look like if we applied the same creativity and energy to creating that experience, such that when Emory students are graduating, they become the most sought after students, no matter what venue? Before I answer the question, we applied design thinking of sorts and asked ourselves, what characteristics would embody and best exemplify an Emory student? But to answer that question, we really need to understand the world that we live in today. The world is changing at a dizzying, dizzying pace. It is unimaginable that until 1997, Google didn't exist. And today, I guarantee you, you will agree that someone is working in some basement making the next Google, maybe one of our Emory students in their dorms. And how do we prepare students for a job that doesn't even exist yet? What will it take? And we also live in a world where we are divided and instead of being united by forces of rising nationalism and such. We live in a world where climate change forces us to think of trade-offs between economics and economic well-being and saving our planet. These challenges are complex. They don't have a ready formulaic answer. And so the characteristics of an Emory student, we think, run something like this. And this is to be true of all Emory students. A, can we have students who are comfortable and practiced in solving complex problems, but with incomplete information? Can we have students who have experience taking on such problems, but working in a team, and a team that they did not choose? Now, this is very difficult for our high-achieving students. Can we have students who have an entrepreneurial mindset, the ability to imagine a world, a product, a service that doesn't yet exist, and have a practice of making that real? Can we have students with analytical rigor, great communication skills, an appreciation for the arts, because without the heart, all else is not so useful? And lastly, can we have students who are computationally or digitally literate in today's digital world? And imagine now, this is the journey that we are on, that the journey that the president described as student flourishing. Imagine classrooms where the courses have problems that are not from the back of a textbook, but from a client, a nonprofit or a company or the libraries or someplace within Emory. Such problems, real-world, authentic problems, are inherently messy. They're not neatly from the back of a book. Imagine a career center that engages with students from their first year and with the help of alumni and pathways that the Career Center does, shows worlds of possibilities that the students have not even imagined. Imagine pop-up courses available, no matter what your major, in artificial intelligence, blockchain, project management, financial literacy, courses that are useful for all of us, but you don't have to be a computer scientist to have access to. These are the kinds of pilots we're, with the help of our deans, running, starting right now and going into the fall. The idea is to enhance the probability that all Emory students will have the characteristics I described, no matter what their major. And this is truly exciting. And what's truly exciting is we're not just going to do this in the curriculum. What's truly innovative in the spirit of the creativity and research that I described earlier is we are thinking of using curriculum, co-curricular space, and their residential life coherently to build the skill set amongst all our students. But there's one other thing I want to share with you. What if we were even more ambitious than this vision that I just painted? If you think about, and if you ask one of our students, what is success for you? Typically, our students would say, I would like to be an amazing researcher, a physician, a lawyer, a writer, a poet. And these are all wonderful things, and the things I talk to you about will help them be a better writer, a better poet, a better inventor. No doubt about that. But rarely is the answer, who do I want to be as a person? I am a father. I have a daughter we have a daughter in college. I would really like her university experience to shape who she becomes as a person. So the question then is, what is in the space of professional success and success in life overall? We think that that space is filled by notions of purpose, meaning, ethics, being centered. This is meaningful, important work. I don't know about you, but this gives me special purpose coming into work, working with my colleagues here at Emory. How do we do this work? Imagine your advisor not just telling you which chemistry or math class to take, but giving you the significance of chemistry to discovering the COVID drug. Imagine your advisor not just giving you academic advice, but giving you purpose and life coaching. Imagine your first year seminar having a theme on human flourishing, but taught from medical perspective, historical perspectives, and all the wonderful perspectives our faculty bring to the table. Imagine this world where the muscle for reflection on the nature of success is built into all our students, so that they're not so anxious when they get their first C or B challenged by our classes here, that they have perspective on what success truly means, and they grow to be the proud citizens, digitally literate, flourishing in the digital age as their whole being in their professional and successful lives. This is the journey that we are in. This is the journey that I'd like you to join. This is the future we're building, and we will attain it well before 2036. Thank you so much.